Larry Farmer has written a book, I Will Be the One. We're going to talk about this book, but before that, we're going to talk to Larry Farmer about what's involved in writing your first novel. So, welcome. We're glad you're here.
I love being here.
The whole idea of writing a book, when did you decide that was something you wanted to do?
Well, I won't give you the whole history, but I will give you, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be an artist. I couldn't draw or paint, but what I'm saying, there was an instinct, and you would watch Walt Disney or something, and you know, it just, I want to do that. And then I love music. I was a country singer in Switzerland, believe it or not, so I knew I had artistic instincts, and in the book I sang in the Philippines. Well, I also wanted to write, and I dabbled at writing, and in the Philippines I kept telling people, they'd ask you what you want to do when you grow up, and I wanted to be a writer. And so somewhere you start and you try, and you gotta learn your craft. And you join like the Brazos Valley Writers, you go through critiques, and they're not all good, but most of them are marvelous, and you listen to all of them, and then those that have been somewhat successful, you ask, how the hell did you do it? And they give you hints, and you hear the horror stories, and there's a million of them, and I have a couple I could tell. But I actually got pretty lucky pretty fast. I did get turned down with 3 or 4 short stories right off the bat. And then I wrote a novel in my experience in Israel, and they asked for the full copy right away and wrote a nice warm, so that just makes you think, hey, man, maybe and then they rejected it.
Oh, no.
So things like that happened a couple of more times, but every time I tried to submit a novel, three or four failures, I got all the way to the end, to where they wanted the whole thing. And then, just from out of nowhere, I decided to send a short story and got a contract right off the bat, and it really shocked me, and I loved working with my editor. And I had included a little scene where I met a girl, and we hit it off, and she said, you know, if you turn this into a love story, it'll go better. And I thought, well, I like a love story as much as anybody else, so I did. And then this had been a short story, and so I got to thinking, I wrote the short story on a day in the life of a Peace Corps volunteer in the Philippines, and did not even include all the insurrections, political assassinations, and Marcos's overthrow. How do you do that? So I turned it into a novel, and she adored it. And so this is my second novel, actually. The first one was a novella, and it's only an ebook. And so this is my first full novel that got in paperback.
Well, I'm just curious. The story is very compelling. You have a way of pulling people in, and
I love hearing this. Thank you.
It does, and before you know it, you're engaged, and you're a part of the story as you're reading it. Now, how
makes me want to buy this book?
Well, it does, and that's the next question.
There
if people
you go.
want to buy it, can you get it locally?
Yes. Well, you could get it from me locally, but you can also download it from Kindle or from Nook. You can get it from my publisher on PDF with them, the Wild Rose Press.
And we're going to put that on the screen in just a little bit.
And
so
it's also on my
webpage.
webpage. All these links and hookups are in my webpage too, which are displaying. But the Wild Rose Press will send it in PDF or send you a copy. And Kindle and Nook and Kobo and companies I never heard of can send it to you in electronic book. And in Amazon's case, and the Wild Rose Press, and yours truly, can get it to you in the paperback.
Well, you know, the whole story being compelling and drawing you in, as you were writing this, what did you want people to have as a takeaway at the end of the book? What do you hope they know? Well,
I always wanted to write a story of substance. While you're learning your craft of writing, you hear things like entertainment, 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 and people that write literature don't make it because nobody buys, and I believe them, but I couldn't get it out of my system. So I do want to be entertaining, I do have include love stories because I do meet girls that I fall for. And so it's easy to do in that regard, so I don't mind. You do want to make it entertaining, but I want to say something.
Well, and of course, I will be the one is a statement that flows throughout this book. It's not just the title, but you'll have to read the book to know more. And here's that Wild Rose Press, thewildrosepress.com, or his own personal location, LarryFarmerWrites.com. And just quickly, in 25 seconds, how useful is the Brazos Writers to developing people?
Oh, very, very, very good. They have people that never got published, but they also have award winners, and they've been there for years. They're so cooperative. If you even flirt with the idea of writing, please join, because there are people there that will help you, and I mean help you.
That is tremendous. I wanted to give you opportunity to say that. Thanks for sharing your book with us. Good luck.
Thanks.